Hi guys. I can't just stop crying, and I'm just from work. I've just parked at the parking lot, and Mike is inside with the dad. I thought that this is America, and it's developed and systems work, but I was wrong. So you all know that we took Mikey to daycare, and it's just been one crazy story after another. So today, because my husband is the one who picks him up, and then they come to pick me because they have like a timeline. Like if you go past 5:30, they will charge you. So me, I leave work at 5, so there's no way my husband can pick me, and then we drive there because it's like a 20 minutes drive, so we'll be late for sure. So my husband has to leave work for like at 4:45, goes to pick him, and then now they come pick me. So today when he picked him, like he had a cracked lip and swollen, like yeah, cracked and swollen. I'll show you. And of course, my husband was questioning what's happening or what happened and everything. And they have a report for it because every time there's an incident, there has to be a report written and everything. So in the report, they're saying Mikey had a toy in his hand and he was running. And so he fell on that toy, and hence the wound. But my husband was like he tried to investigate further and spoke to the teacher because that information was coming from the director or one of the directors. And so my husband was trying to speak to the teacher, and the teacher was mentioned something about like a child who has been picking on Mikey. Now I'll give you another story so you connect the dots. So after everything, like there were two different stories coming up, and so we definitely don't know who to believe. And in any case, like I'm biased, yes, because Mike is my son. I don't dispute that. Yes, he could have failed, but why do we have two stories that are contradicting each other? Like the stories from the teachers are different, the story from the director is different. So that's today. 2 days before, the day before yesterday, my husband picked him, and Mikey had bruises on his face, like bruises on his face. I'll show you that as well. When my husband picked him, of course, we didn't notice, or he didn't notice. And when I saw Mikey, when now we got to the house, I noticed those marks, and they're like little open wounds. So you could see the little open wounds. They look like someone tried to put like a mark, or someone was trying to hold his skin like that. So when I saw it, of course, I told my husband, when you're dropping him in the morning, ask what happened, because Mikey didn't have these marks when we were dropping him. Mom. Yes, baby. Yeah, I see. Don't. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Don't. Let me see. Let me see. Show me. Because it's like really swollen. Let me see. Do like this. Show. Huh? Do like this. Show. Can you see, guys? Look. Yani, he was hit, and then it also, like, let's see the other side. Move like this. Let's do like this. Let me see. I'm trying to have him open his mouth. Yes, there. It's okay. It's okay, my love. It's okay. These are the marks from the day before yesterday. I'll show you. You can see that. So the day before yesterday, they were open, like you could see. Mommy, look at this. Yeah. Let me see. There you can see those marks, and he didn't have them. So now we even notice new ones today. Look at today. Look at today's marks. Look. This is clearly someone who is putting these marks on Mikey, because Mikey has no nails. Look. He doesn't have sharp nails. Look. All his nails are trimmed. He does not have sharp nails. And even if he had, he didn't start having these marks until daycare. So guys, sorry, I had to stop that video. I'm more composed now. We feel like there's a child that's bullying Mikey or picking on him, and the way this issue is being handled is not appropriate, and it's not satisfactory to us, as the parents. What pisses us more, the second day after dropping him to daycare, when my husband went to pick him, he noticed that he was wet. Like Mikey was wet with pee. Part of his shirt and part of his t-shirt and his vest were wet with pee, and you can smell pee. Who can't smell pee? And then his bottom was like wet. So anyway, I pick him and I'm like, okay, let me change him. So I remove his trouser. On removing his trouser, I see that he has an underpant and it was wet. But what shocked me the most is under the wet underwear, Mikey had a diaper, his normal diaper, his pull ups. And so I removed the diaper and I'm like, okay, maybe the diaper is full and so it's leaking and that's why he's wet. Checking the diaper is not full. The diaper is not full at all. Like it didn't even have like pee, you know? So that means you're full. Okay, my baby, that's fine. I love you. Okay, I love you. He's saying he's full. These days he tells Mommy, I'm full. Oh. Okay, so can you show aunties the bubu? Show aunties Donda. Papi Donda. Show auntie Donda. Donda. Nani amekupea Donda? Ni nani amepea tuta yangu Donda? Wamekupatia Donda. Lakini nimekwambia Mike, lakini nimekwambia aje, mtu akikupiga unampiga, sawa? Sawa baby? Na mtu akikuchuna pia unamchuna, sawa? Sawa my love? Usichune kama umenyamaza, sawa my love? Okay? Yeah, so anyway, the diaper is not wet. Like, I've been with a baby for 3 years. I would know a wet diaper that's leaking. And I'll know a diaper that's not wet. So this one was not wet. That just made me furious. Because I'm like, the first mistake, you've let the baby be with wet clothes. Yet, this baby has a cabinet with you guys that has clean clothes. So you can easily change him. Number 2, assume that shit happens and, Mikey has messed up, which he's bound to. He's still, getting used to the place. Maybe he's not comfortable to say, I want to go susu. Why do you then put on a clean diaper and then put on a dirty and wet, pee-smelling underwear and then still put an when you have fresh clothes that you can change this baby into, like that just got me furious. So I told Abby, when you go in the morning, ask why that happened. And so the next day Abby went and he was asking what happened. But so my husband was like, I feel like they're bullshitting me because I was in the morning. I want to pick you first today. In the evening we go and pick Mikey together, because I feel like when they see the woman, like, they probably would take us serious. I was like, okay. That evening we went and I don't know if this is relevant, but this is a black owned daycare. It's a daycare. It's a legit daycare. Like, they're not operating from a house and everything. They're registered and everything. Okay. So I go there, and of course, as a mother, any mother, you start with the questions that we're not getting proper answers. I sent emails as well, and the answers they were giving me on the email were not satisfactory. So I was like, you know what? You have a piece of my mind. And I was trying to be very polite about it, but I like, the way you're mad, you're pissed off, but you're still being polite because that lady is like an elderly lady. Yeah, because then I'm like, I don't want to be a drama queen, and then they end up picking up on Mikey more. Like, even now the teacher's being, like, oh, your mama gives us trouble. You understand that? So I'm trying to balance here. I get there and I started with my issues. So a phone comes in and the director walks away from me and goes and picks the call, and she starts attending to the call. And it's business, I get it. At this point, I'm just trying to be very, 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 very calm and controlling myself. So she comes back and she switches off the lights of the room, and it's like, she starts walking away. And you know what she tells us? I'm sorry, guys. It's not like I'm walking away. I've just been here the whole day. And I'm like, okay, but we have an issue we're addressing. So we come to the front. I'm not done with her. So I raised the second issue and I'm like, okay, we finished the diaper issue.
Mikey came with marks back home, and when we were dropping him, he didn't have those marks. What happened? You know, are there animals around? Do you have cats here? And she says no. And I said, could the teacher have seen maybe a child being overly aggressive with Mikey or using extra force with Mikey? Or has is it Mikey who was starting a fight or starting to mess up with another child, and the child sort of like was trying to stand up for himself? And she said, I mean, I didn't see the marks until your husband showed me, and I've asked the teachers, and the teacher said they don't know anything. And say, okay, okay. I said, so I asked her, how many kids are in this room, in this classroom? And she says, we have 13 kids. And I said, how many teachers do you have in the room? And she says, two. And so I said, so ideally, each teacher is supposed to attend to like six people or six kids, you know? And I'm like, in my head, like, if a room has 13 kids and you're supposed to only focus on six, or whichever way, you'll be able to see when there's like something happening that should not be happening, because those marks, they cannot be just from something that just, it's not just a one-off thing. You can see, like, because if it's a one-off thing, it will be more of a scratch. At this point now, my husband has stepped away. It's a woman to woman thing. Yes, I could be young, she could be old, she could be old enough to be my mother, but at this point I was like, you're not taking me seriously, and my child is suffering. I feel like my child, is having things that he should not have, but you're not giving me conclusive or satisfactory answers, and I feel like you honestly do not care as long as we've paid you. So after all that, I was like, okay, I've raised my concerns, and you've said what you've said. How is Mikey doing? Like, is he adapting well? Is he catching up well in the class? Is he behaving well? And the lady, she says, I mean, I'm okay with the child. The child is okay in the classroom. And so the way she said it, and then she's looking at me, it looks like there's a but. And so she's afraid to say it. So I said it for her, and I'm like, okay, but. And she's like, my problem is you. And I'm like, what do you mean my problem is me? Like, are you expecting my child to come back home with marks and I should not question and just smile? Like, this is the first time this baby is going to daycare. And so you would expect that I would have these concerns, especially when this is not normal in any case. And she's like, well, yeah, I understand he's your first child to go to daycare, but this is not my first child I'm handling at daycare. I've been running this daycare for years, and I have kids who are old enough to, and I have kids who are old enough, so I've handled babies as well. And I'm like, so what are you trying to tell me? Of course, I didn't ask that, but in my head, I'm like, so what exactly are you trying to tell me? You know? And so at this point, I was like, you know what? So I told her, I mean, I understand you've been running the daycare, but I feel like we are raising concerns here, and these are legit concerns, but none of you, but they're not being addressed the way they're supposed to be addressed, or we're not getting satisfactory answers, or you guys think we're lying. And she's like, no, no one thinks you're lying, and we listen to you, I listen to you, and everything. And I'm like, that's not what it feels like. It feels like when we ask something, we're getting different stories and nothing really satisfactory, and no one seems to really care, you know? Yeah, and so I did want to go back and forth because she looked like she was like just ready to go, because it was like already 6 p.m. and they close at 5. Yeah, and I just told her, I mean, I want my child to adapt very fast, but it will be good if you also help in that. So if there's someone who is bullying the child in the class, let us know. If it's our son who is causing an issue and the other child is retaliating and so he gets the marks, then Pia, you let us know, and we take the disciplinary actions, or you take the disciplinary actions that are provided or you have, for this kind of situations. And she's like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I hear you. So today we have now the issue of the cracked lip, and they've written a fake report about what happened, and they forced my husband to sign. Men, I think men have grace, because if I was the one, I would not have signed it. Why am I signing and you're telling me two contradicting stories? The first story, the teacher said there's someone who's picking up on him, and the boy is a bit older than him. The lady who wrote the report is saying Mikey fell and hit himself on a toy that he was holding when he was running. Yeah, so my husband was so furious. He was like, I want him out of that daycare. That is it. That is it. The fact that we're in the great America, the superpower, does not mean systems are working everywhere and everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. We still have slacks and issues, So this is just me highlighting this and creating awareness just to new immigrants, because man, I thought, I didn't expect this. Honestly, I didn't expect this. But it is what it is. We live to fight another day, and I hope my baby will, like, the dad has resolved to teaching him how to fight. I didn't want to teach him. Like, Mikey is very polite, by the way. If Mikey will only hit you, like, if when you push it, push it, push it, push it. I've seen how he interacts with other kids. He's not rough. Like, and even back in Kenya, like, you would see how he interacts with other kids. Every time he would come out to play, he would always be the one to be picked on. I just don't understand why. But now Habi has said the only resolution is to teach him how to fight, because even in school, if he's to meet like people who are more bullies, then at least he'll be able to manage. Yeah, so standing up and fighting for himself is the only resolution. So if you also have tactics on how to teach a child how to fight for themselves, we have decided. Because there's no way you're beating my child. The other parent is not even taking action. So it's only my child who is suffering for being nice. No, 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 no. We finished the being nice. We are not teaching him to be violent. We are teaching him to stand up for himself. So anybody comes for you, you come for them back. Yeah. That's it. You hear, Mikey? You hear, Mikey? Say yes. Say yes, mommy. Aya, kuja. Come and say bye bye to people. Stand up. They can't see you. Stand up, my baby. Stand. Oh my love. Oh my love. You got a boo boo. Bye bye. Bye bye. You got a boo boo, my love. Hmm? You got a boo boo. You got a boo boo, my baby. I'm sure we. I love you. I love you. It's going down a bit. But can you see? You're okay. Okay. When someone hits you, you hit back. Okay. Okay, Mikey. All right. Say bye bye. Bye bye. Okay. All right, guys. Let me end this video here and we go sleep. Tomorrow is another long day. Tomorrow is another day. Yeah. So we'll see you in the next one. As always, remember to be kind to one another, love one another, and treasure every minute you spend with one another, because tomorrow is not promised. And guys, do what you're supposed to do. If you have a job, you've started a daycare, or you're employed at a daycare, you know the responsibilities that come with daycare. Just do what you're supposed to be doing. Just do your job. Seriously, you'll save us so much headache and so much unnecessary back and forth when you do that. Yeah. I salute everybody who is taking care of kids, everybody who is working for daycares, everybody who is working with our children as we are trying to make money. But for those who are failing, the rest of you, please pull up your socks. Bye bye.